on? Okay. Wow.
Woo! I
Little
almost
hiccup
streamed
to
this.
start there. That's fine.
Whoa,
Wow. Episode 9. This is it. Episode
that's
9,
crazy.
part 2 of
Yes.
our talks of Rose and Ed.
Part two
If
of
you're listening to,
possibly 5.
yeah, honestly, the
4?
first one we didn't expect that we would go on for that long.
Mm-hmm.
So we obviously had to make a second part, which we were anticipating,
Yeah.
but it might be like another one as well. We're definitely not going to go through all of it on this episode. Maybe, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are listening to this and you haven't heard um, our last episode, we were talking about Rose and Ed from 90 Day Fiance. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, I would recommend listening to that one first
Please.
before you listen to this one, because it's just going to be a continuation
Mm-hmm.
of the last one. To
Yep.
summarize where we're at, we just talked about the part where Ed asks Rose to take an STD test.
Love that.
Wow, I actually said it right this time.
Yeah, you did.
She-
Not an STI, not an STD. Oh wait, it is an STD.
I just couldn't take. I don't know why I couldn't. I can say it, but she's obviously very upset about that. She asked him to book her another hotel for the night, and they go their separate ways. It's a big kerfuffle,
Yes.
right? Before we get into that, let's just talk about what's been going on. Obviously,
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
yeah, obviously, you're still in quarantine, so this is how we've been recording our episodes as of late. How's everything been with you?
I've been okay.
Yeah.
Been learning French again.
French.
Yeah, comment ça va?
That's you.
Ça va bien?
That's you. That's oui oui,
Oui, oui.
mademoiselle. Very good.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I've been trying to brush up on my languages.
That's good.
And what else have I been doing? Just trying to learn the guitar more.
Nice.
Just learn my music while I'm home.
Yeah, that's a good way to spend your time. just
Asking
learning
you to
new
help me
skills. Yeah,
with my theory.
yeah. I'm like a music theory nerd.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know that. I haven't been doing much either. Just the same old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just submitted like the final assignment for my teaching thing though. So technically, I've done my program. Technically.
Now you're done.
It just doesn't feel like that though, because
I
then
know.
our graduation got postponed because of the whole pandemic anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I'll still be certified, but I don't think I'll be having my graduation ceremony till like September, which is kind of unfortunate. But you know how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not that much to talk about.
Because
There's good
there's
yeah.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Besides watch stuff, and that's
Yeah.
all we've been doing, and
What
all
have you
we've
been
talking
watching?
about. Well, we just finished watching Tiger King last week,
Oh my god.
and that's a treat.
we
We
gonna
might
do a
have a
pod
whole
on
separate thing on
itself?
that. If you haven't watched Tiger King yet, watch it.
It's a
I know.
wild time.
Yeah, I know everyone's talking about it. I get that.
But for good reason.
But for a good reason, it's worth the
Yeah.
hype.
Yeah.
You definitely want to be on that train.
I didn't think I would be into it just because of the whole vibe, but then we started
It's really good.
getting into it and the story started progressing
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this is wild.
It's great because you couldn't write something like this,
Yeah.
and these are actual real people with real scenarios.
Like,
And
I
that's what
can't
makes it
believe
so
they
unreal.
exist. That's
Yeah.
freaking crazy.
But that's definitely a worth watch. We actually just started watching
Last
the first
night.
few episodes of Too Hot to Handle.
Is that what it was called? Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
If you haven't watched that, that's a definitely interesting take. Like it's an interesting, filled with interesting people. I keep using the word interesting because I don't want to insult anyone, but
Just say
it's
it. They're
essentially
trash. They're all trash.
it's good. It's good trash. Good trash content. It's good.
Oh, for sure.
It's definitely entertaining though. Definitely give
Mhm.
that a watch as well. But before there's so much to watch, so much to talk about. But obviously this episode is going to be focused on the whole Rose and Ed 90 Day Fiance thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're really behind on this because everyone and their mother has reacted to this. PewDiePie has reacted to clips of this show. Even XQC I saw
Right.
I saw those earlier.
Damn,
Even
everyone's doing it.
everyone's talking about this. So everyone's learning about the disparity of some parts of the Philippines too.
Oy.
So maybe that'll open up some eyes as well.
For sure.
Um, but from before we even get into the continuation of what we were talking about last week in terms of the narrative between Rose and Ed, there's some
Hmm.
details we left out. So just as a disclaimer,
Oh,
we
did
haven't
you
been.
write these down?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a few points. Um, we haven't been watching the episodes in full, but like through clips.
Hmm.
Okay, so there are some things that we've missed out on,
Oh God, I just
but
remembered it.
I took note of some of the smaller things that we didn't touch upon. So before Ed flies out to meet Rose, he does this thing that's really weird, where he has a whole he has a whole segment of him putting mayonnaise
Oh my God.
in his hair. And I don't mean like he brushes a little bit on, like he
He
like
like
digs his
scoops it
hand
out. Yeah.
right in there, fistful of mayonnaise, and it's like all over his hair.
I
It's a bad
remember
time.
last week saying his hair looks so greasy. He just looks
Yeah,
so greasy.
he said that because when she commented about his long hair being
Yeah.
sexy or whatever,
Yeah. And
and
now I know why. It
you know
all
why
makes
it's so
sense
greasy. Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Well, he said that he had like a skin condition. It was like some scientific term, which is really just eczema, whatever you want
Oh,
to call it.
he said like dermatitis or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So I just find it so odd. Like he could just use a medicated shampoo, whatever the situation is.
Why did
I don't
what was his reasoning for using mayonnaise?
because of his skin condition.
Really?
Yeah. He says some shampoos irritate my scalp or something like that.
I'm sure that yeah, I'm sure like you said he could have got he could got something medicated instead
Yeah.
of your hair smelling like
And then he
mayonnaise.
goes on to say, I smell like an egg salad, but it's worth it.
I don't I don't think it is. I think having smelling good comes before looks sometimes.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you think about that? Like if
Mhm.
like say like a really attractive dude comes up to you, starts talking to you, whatever.
But he
But
smells like
he's some yeah.
BO
Yeah.
or like rotten eggs. I'm not gonna talk to you because
Yeah.
I can't even breathe near you,
That's true, right? So
right?
for everyone out there, you gotta smell good first, right? That's the more important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and apparently as well, so there's a whole bit where he's talking with his friend as he's packing before he leaves, and there's a detail that comes up where, first of all, he lies about his height.
Oh
So he's actually like 4'11",
yeah.
right? So we talked about the whole thing where when Ed meets Rose at the airport, she's super surprised because like, oh, she's like shorter than he thought. So apparently it's because he lied about his height.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already like a big no-no. It's like, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to judge those things when you're in an online relationship. It's like
Hmm.
I don't like you can't judge someone by their height or you
Of
can't
course.
tell how tall they are, right? It's like I can't
Right.
tell how tall you are right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
For
like
all you
just
know, I
by
could be like,
seeing pictures.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the bad thing is that say that if it came up, then you should just be honest, though,
True.
right? I mean, like, there's a whole meme about how Twitter girls won't date a guy under like 6 feet. You know, this guy isn't even 5 feet. So,
It's a definite no.
so for all you guys out there, you're 5'5" to your 5'8",
Mm.
then hey, you got a chance. So during this conversation with his friend too, so that comes up, but he also talks about how he already wanted the vasectomy at this
Wait, like
point,
after a while, yeah.
right? Even before he flew out to see her,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a big deal, and we'll get to it later. But Rose wants kids,
Mm-hmm.
and this is talked about even before they actually meet in person.
Yeah.
She said that she wanted like 2 kids or something like that.
Because she's young.
Right. Yeah, she's young. She's
still
23.
young. Yeah.
She already has a kid, but
Of
it's still a
course
long,
she wants kids.
still a lot of time,
right?
of course.
Yeah.
Especially if she's gonna be with this dude for like the rest of her life.
Mm.
Yeah, she's gonna want to have more kids, right? But obviously, this is gonna become a bigger issue later. But I thought it was important to bring up now because it's something that he did have prior knowledge of, which I think is an important detail.
Right.
But I mean, see, just just like Tiger King. You know, you can't rate this stuff. This
Or
is
you can.
all. I mean, I'm gonna assume this is all real and not scripted.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
where's the fun if it's scripted, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so you got to the part where, yeah. So they're staying in a different hotel for the night because she's obviously mad at Ed for bringing up the whole STD thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
The next day, he tries to get her to meet with him at a coffee shop or something like that. Was it
yeah,
that part?
exactly, right?
Mm.
Even just trying to talk about that, like let's like going in deeper into like why he was so persistent about asking for the STD test.
Mm.
Even says like quote like I don't understand why she doesn't want to take a test. It's like all the signs like point to why she wouldn't want to take one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's not comfortable talking about her past. She doesn't think that you trust her,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't even. She asked you to take one, and you didn't want to take one in the Philippines,
Yeah.
probably because you think it's like
He probably
dirty
thinks
and not
it's such
clean and
a.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I went to the dentist when I was in the Philippines
Me
when I was a
too.
kid, but they not. It was the first time I ever had like my mouth numbed, so it
Oh
felt
shoot!
like
Really?
my lips felt like almost if they were wrapped in like cling wrap.
Oh my god.
And I mean, I was like, yeah, it was the weirdest feeling.
I had eye surgery in the Philippines.
Eye surgery?
Surgery. I don't think you can even call it surgery.
What happened?
They. So I had a cyst in high school in my eye, in one of my
Mhm.
eyes, and that's why my left eye has issues. But they had to take it out. Like, I went to the doctor. My grandma wanted me to go to the doctor to have it looked at or whatever,
Mhm.
and the doctor was like, "I can take it out right now."
Hey, why
And
not?
my mom was like, "Yeah, yeah, do it now, so we don't have to do it when we go back." And I was like, "Okay, I guess."
Great
And
time to
so
spend
he
on your
just laid me
vacation.
down and he took it out and had my eye patched up for a good week.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry. It kind of the call froze up for a bit.
Yeah,
Did you
it's
finish
okay.
your eye story?
I did. That's awkward.
Yeah. It's like so just to bring this all back into context, right? This is technically still the night of their first date, and he's already made her this
Wait, it
upset.
is? Oh my god, it is, yeah.
Yeah. So this whole thing, like the whole them going to the market to shop, getting their nails done, going to dinner, then him asking for the STD test. This is all one day,
Mm.
right? So just to put into context, he's in such a rush to try to propose to her that he's not thinking straight, right? Like, I know you want to you want to find out quickly and stuff like that, like about her past and all that stuff. Fine, right? Um, it's the first date though, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Kind
a
of
lot to
pushing it,
ask,
dude.
right?
Yeah.
Just
Let it
imagine
come
asking.
naturally.
Yeah, I can imagine asking something like that on the first date.
What did you ask me on the first date?
I don't know. I asked you what kind of music you like or
do you...
something.
Whoa, I was just gonna say that.
Nah.
Bruh.
Yeah,
I think we did talk about music.
we did. We definitely did.
We
Yeah.
definitely did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
we talked about
like
TV shows.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about normal stuff though. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, then again, I didn't have any intention to do anything crazy
You're right.
because I was more just like, hey, you know, why don't I get to know the person first? Like, whoa, what a crazy concept, right?
Also, you're
After
not
watching,
on a 90-day time crunch.
yeah, but after watching Too Hot to Handle, like just listening to the people
God.
speak, it's like, have you ever talked to another human being and just asked them about something, right?
Oh my god.
It's like,
Oh my god.
because sorry, we're bringing this in right now, but on Too Hot to Handle, right? These people are all very like sexually active people, and they're put on like a resort and they're told not to have sex or whatever, because like the whole point is to like have them form deeper connections with other people and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the way they come off, it's like they've never spoken to someone of the opposite sex and haven't asked them to sleep, like
Right.
sleep together.
It's a foreign language.
Like, have you just not had a conversation with someone? So just ask them about themselves, like,
Yeah.
where
Like,
are
how
you
do they
from?
function in society? I don't get it.
Because that
So
just applies
weird.
to everything,
I know.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, see, that's why. So this kind of relates to this because it's like always talks about like how they have this connection, blah blah blah, and he wants to get to know her, but he's asking zero questions about who she is. What do you value? What are your interests? Things like of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, how do you really know if you're compatible?
Mm-hmm.
Like what kind of goals do you both have? This and that,
Mm-hmm.
right? He does not. He
I
does
don't
not
think
get it.
we've seen an actual conversation between them.
See, and that's the sad thing too. I don't think it. Let's say if it's down to how it's edited and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
do they just not show that bit of
We
them
probably
actually having a
don't.
conversation?
Yeah.
See,
'Cause it's
sometimes,
not worthy of being on
yeah,
TV.
because I'm taking it from what I can see and what they're
Right.
showing. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
for
they are
sure.
having conversations and we're just not seeing that part,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that's like a vital aspect, that they're not including. Because
But
yeah,
we also haven't seen the other couples on the show currently. Like, we don't know
that's very
how the dynamics are.
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So we're
So
just basing this off of Ed and Rose.
yeah, and we can only base it off from what we see. So
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
we have to assume some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like you said earlier, he asks her to meet at a cafe. So he's gonna try to make it up to her or something like
But
that, right?
do you like what he did? He sent her a message in Tagalog.
Tagalog,
Yeah.
how he calls it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tagalog.
But he used like a Google translator or something.
Yeah. I want to
I
go
need
back
to.
and see if it's all like grammatically correct or if it made
Yeah,
sense.
it'd be funny because like usually if you put things through a translator, it doesn't really fix all the grammar, right?
Yeah. At least
So,
back then it didn't. I don't know about now.
do you think that's more meaningful? Do you think that's like a good gesture on his part to do that, or what do you think?
I don't know. I don't see it as anything else. It's still a
Yeah.
message.
I could see like maybe
But
he wants to do it.
I guess he's
Yeah.
trying. Like, it shows that
Yeah.
he's trying,
Yeah.
right?
You could say that. I think it'd be more helpful if you went to just like, I don't know, like the hotel concierge and asked or something like that. Usually
Mm,
those people are fluent, so
true.
they'd be able to translate it better, I would think.
True.
But I mean, it's something. It does show a little bit of effort because he could have just sent a text in English, right?
Be like, meet me
Um,
here at this time. Please come.
yeah. So I mean, at least he's trying to do something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, but all of this only happened because he just didn't want to take it slow, right? If you just take it a bit slower, then trust me, in the past, I have not taken it slow, and it's gotten me nowhere.
Excuse me?
Okay, in past
Uh-huh,
relationships,
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't, guys. Slow down. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like it when you go too fast. All right,
Want to go into that more?
that's okay. You already know. You already know.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not for the
Not
viewers.
on the
Aren't the
pod.
viewers
Not
aren't
on the
ready yet.
pod.
Not on the pod. The viewers aren't ready for this.
You're too young, children.
Too young. Maybe wait for like 5 years. Okay. So he's waiting for her. So he goes to this cafe and he's waiting for her at the cafe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, apparently he was there for like an hour and a half, and she still didn't show up.
I mean, props to him for waiting that long.
Yeah,
It also might
but
have not even been that long. They just exaggerated that on the show.
that's a good point too.
Mm.
I was gonna say he didn't account for Filipino time.
Oh, that's a good
You know what I mean?
point.
Dude,
You gotta
you
say
gotta
2 hours in advance or something.
2 hour buffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're having a party at 7 and you
Mm-hmm.
want people to be there by 7, you gotta tell them it starts at 5.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I hate that, by the way, but that's how it is with Filipinos. Okay.
Pretty much. I think a lot of people will agree wherever they're from. It's probably
Yeah.
a common thing with other
it's a-
cultures as well.
It's an expression because it's true. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of the times they're late.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a thing. Okay. But obviously that's just a joke, right? So he actually does apologize. So she does show up.
Mm.
FYI. Sorry, I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
mention.
Spoiler.
He does show up, but like almost like 2 hours later,
Mm-hmm.
and he apologizes.
She shows up. She sits down. She's like, "What?"
Yeah. Hey, I think that's a good response from her, right?
Hey, yeah. I just found it so cool.
But she didn't know what he was gonna say.
Mm.
Because what if after all of this he was still like, yeah, I still want you to take a test.
Ooh.
You'd be out of there.
That's yeah. Good point.
But he does he says that he's like, okay, he doesn't need her to take the test anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that's kind of what you needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, they made up. Good for them.
What did they do after? Do you have that
Oh
in
no,
your notes?
yeah, yeah. He does
Okay.
like a little pop off though. He's pretty happy about it that they made up. But so they go back to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if they said what they did before that, but anyway, he's staying with him again at his room. Okay. Um. So while Rose is in the shower, he orders champagne. He's even telling like the room service guy to like shh, like as he like brings it in. Doesn't want her
Thank you
to
so
know what's happening.
much.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whoa. It's like I don't know. I guess it's a fine gesture and all, like
Trying to
ordering
be a
champagne,
romantic, you know?
right? So he um
If you hear my parents, they're just dying from laughter.
why are they watching?
They're watching their Filipino series.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think
Teleseries.
I
Sorry,
don't
go
know if
ahead.
that'll be picked up, but it'll be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, so he does. He orders champagne, and he's definitely like the way he's talking. He's like he's trying to push this into a, smash situation, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
like he definitely wants to get some.
Mhm.
Um, then he gives her a foot massage, which is a little.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mhm.
I mean, it's just there's nothing exciting happening. It's just a foot massage. It's just everything he kind of does is really awkward,
I hate.
right?
No, we'll get to it after. But he was also like, "Hey, why don't you take your robe off?" She takes it off, and he goes, "Oh, I like what I see," or
Oh
something
my
like that. And I
gosh,
was
you're right.
like, "Ugh."
Because did he buy? Didn't he buy that for her?
Yeah, yeah. It's
He bought that for
the
her at the market.
PJs
It's
that
like
he bought. Yeah.
PJ lingerie kind of thing.
Mm.
It's not. It's more PJ than lingerie, but it's definitely on like the more revealing side
Sure.
of PJs, right? So yeah, that was a very weird comment.
Ugh. Ugh.
Um, this is also what he does too. I think during the massage, he's like, "How do you say kiss in Tagalog or something?" And she's like, "Halik,"
Oh.
and then
May
he said,
I halik you? Oh
"Oh,
my god. Ew.
Jesus, can I halik you, dude? That doesn't sound good. You know what I mean? I just
What are your
yeah.
thoughts on guys having to ask girls if they can kiss them?
I feel like hold on, let me think about this. I think in some contexts it's fine,
Mm,
right? But if you're really connecting with someone and you're in the moment, it's not something you have to ask,
right.
I would think, right? It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the whole like "can I halik you" thing is just not, and it just doesn't sound good. Just ask. She knows what kiss means, you know. Just
Yeah.
ask for a kiss if you're gonna
He
do that,
wanted
right?
to connect with her.
Yeah. And then
I know my Tagalog.
she's like here, here, here.
Here.
Like she's pointing at
Everything but the lips.
her lips, right? So she's already like so hesitant about this, right?
Oh.
This is funny because this is the day after he was like, "Oh, I want to be respectful and blah blah
Mhm.
blah to you and stuff like that." It's only been a day,
Mhm.
right? It's only because you don't want her to take the STD test anymore, so you're like, "Yeah, we're gonna smash," right?
Yeah.
I put in my notes that oh, sorry, I
Oh.
dropped my phone. I put in my notes that I said this guy has no game. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying I have a lot of
It's
game. I'm
been
just saying,
28 years. Of course he has no game. He's dated.
yeah, that's kind of sad
His
though.
techniques are dated.
Wow,
Sorry.
that's kind of
Call
harsh,
me out, Ed.
but it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously he's trying to like build up to something a little bit more interesting. Okay. Um, and it's the morning after, and the producer asks Rose, she's the kind of like, so what did you guys do last night or
Mhm.
whatever, right? And then she's like, no, no,
She's like,
whatever.
ayoko, ayoko.
It's like she's saying nothing happened,
Yeah.
right? And then it cuts to Ed and it's like, last night, like we made love.
Oh.
And he's like talking about like how he's on cloud nine and all this nonsense, and he's super happy and stuff like that.
Do you
And
think they actually slept together?
I don't s- I don't see why he'd lie about it,
Mm.
you know?
Mhm.
Especially because I think like Rose said nothing happened, but she's like in her undertone like she's pretty much saying yeah, like regrettably almost that something could happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
if you're into the person, like why would you lie, right? Into the
True.
producer. It's like,
That is true.
but the thing is, everything that he kind of does, she's always hesitant of.
Mhm.
So she, she's not like a really big fan of him, right? Um,
It's kind of painful to watch.
yeah, it's not great because the morning after, like the way he's even just lying down looking at her, he's just like staring at her while he's like
He's
kind of
not a good
he's like laying
looking person
down.
in the morning. It's not very pleasant to look
He has
at,
like his leg out sticking out from like
in my
one of the sheets and
opinion.
stuff like
Yeah, no.
that.
It's like
um,
they pan to his face. He's like, they
I
pan
know
to her face. She's like,
she always kind of doesn't want to.
yeah.
She just looks. She always seems disgusted or
She
like that's not a
disgusted,
good sign.
disappointed, scarred.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem like she's having a good time.
Yeah.
Um, then this whole bit happens where he makes an outlandish
Oh,
comment
here we go. This is where
about
you have
her.
lots of opinions.
He calls her out for having hairy legs.
Okay.
Okay, and I feel like most girls, right, who tend to be more feminine, right, they don't like that, right? It's not like they want to have hairy legs, but I feel like commenting on it isn't gonna help at all. I mean, maybe you should get into this more because I'm just talking for you.
Say your side of it first, like what you think of it,
Well,
or your
I don't
opinions
understand.
on it.
I don't understand why he made a comment about that when, like, you show up looking the way you do. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude, okay? And I'm not discrediting him for things that he can't control.
Right.
But in terms of like your what you wear, how you present yourself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So he had
It's
the audacity
it's
to call her
yeah.
out on
He,
leg hair when he
to
looks like
me,
that.
he seems kind of sloppy,
Oh,
right?
mayonnaise.
Like
Come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's a kind of a sloppy dude, and he's gonna call out Rose, who's an
Mhm.
attractive girl.
Mhm.
Okay, she's pretty, right? She can have a lot of things going for her,
Mhm.
but just because she has some hairy legs, right? And
Mhm.
I don't. They're probably not even that hairy, because he says that it's like they're almost like mine or something like that. It's like
Wait,
what?
he did? I don't remember that.
Something along those lines. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But he does say that he doesn't like that she has hairy legs, and he thinks she should shave them,
Hmm.
right? I just think it's kind of out of nowhere for him to call her out on that when
I get
like
it.
dude, look
Yeah.
at you,
Yeah.
look at her. It's like really, you're gonna say that? You know what I mean? Like that's gonna like be the I don't even know, you know. But anyway, go ahead.
I have a theory.
Hmm.
She probably knows, or well, she probably felt that she didn't want to sleep with him, or she wasn't expecting to sleep with him so early.
I see.
So she didn't shave.
Hmm.
That's my theory.
That's a good point.
It's I don't know, because usually if you want to sleep with someone for the first time, you want to look your best. Maybe
Hmm.
that's just a theory. I
So
don't
maybe it
know what
happened
it
like
is for other girls.
okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, personally, I don't like my body hair, so I'm just doing this
yeah,
every
yeah,
other day.
right.
It's a
Every
tedious
other day.
process. Well, like when I feel stubbly.
Oh, I see. That's what sucks about being a girl.
Yeah.
But me, hey, I don't care. To be honest with you, a little bit hair on the legs, guys. Is that really gonna stop you?
Here,
Come
put a
on,
poll in right now.
give me
Hair
a
legs
break.
or no hair?
Give me a break, guys. I'm not saying you want her to, to have like like it's full. You know what I mean? But I mean, if there's a little bit there, what you're gonna tell her to shave it? I don't know, dude. I think that's out of line,
Yeah,
right? And
I don't like the
yeah,
fact that he had to go out of his way to say you should shave.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
really bad
it
too.
just kind of ruins everything, ruins the
Because
moment.
you, cause you would think like she's obviously aware of her own body, right? So she's
Yeah.
gonna handle it the way she handles it.
Mhm.
So like for you to call her out, that's kind of bad. But the funny thing about this whole thing is that she doesn't like his beard, right?
Yeah. She's like
And
it
I get it.
hurts.
Yeah, it's
And
like
hot girl, I get.
it's probably really like scratchy, right? Or
Mhm.
really like scruffy. So
Mhm.
obviously it's gonna like if she has her face pressed up against it, it's gonna like kind of
Mhm.
scratch her up and stuff like that, which makes sense. So he says he's like, okay, if you shave, like if you shave, if sorry, if I shave my legs and you shave your beard, right? And then he counter offers. He's like, I'll shave. Wait, shave your legs or kiss me. And she's like,
Oh
"Ah."
god. She goes, uh.
Eh. She
Uh.
does that a lot. Uh,
That's literally me.
she grunts and doesn't have a good time most of the
Mhm.
time. Most of the time, she's not having a good time. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the whole story. That's
I
all you
haven't
need to
seen
know.
her genuinely happy throughout
Yeah,
this whole thing so
maybe
far.
when they first meet at the airport, like that looks somewhat genuine.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
So rather than kissing him, she's like went straight to the bathroom, started shaving her legs, and she comes out. All right, you want to talk about this part when she comes out?
All right. She shows him her legs. She
Hmm.
lifts. Wait, she didn't have anything on, so she just shows her legs.
Yeah, she had like a robe on or something.
He Ed with his nasty hands,
Oh my
with his greasy, crusty hands.
mayonnaise
He
hands.
greasy mayonnaise filled, probably in between his fingertips and his
Oh,
fingernails. He
that's so
goes
gross. Stop.
on her freaking shin,
Hmm.
and I barfed, and he goes, "I like what I see." I don't know. I think that's what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like pretty much how it went. Too bad for him. The next night, there ain't gonna be no time for smashing.
What happened?
How
I
long
don't
have we been
remember.
going? Maybe this is a good time to take a break.
Okay, we've been going for half an hour.
We'll take a break and we'll get into what we're gonna talk about next.
Tay. We are recording.
And we're back.
We're back.
Yeah. So this is their last day in Manila.
Mhm.
So they're finally going to her hometown. They don't say exactly where it is. Maybe like so she doesn't get doxxed or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's about 3 hours north of Manila.
Mhm.
Okay. And obviously now we're starting to get into like the more not so well off parts of the Philippines, right?
Yes.
And this is when it starts to get like super real for him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he's seeing like a lot of the conditions that people are living in as they get closer to where they're actually staying. Okay. Um, they finally arrive at her hometown. First thing that happens, he gets out of the car, right? And she gets out of the car. Who starts running in? Rose's son, Prince,
Prince.
super adorable kid, starts
So
running up to her mom.
cute.
Obviously, he misses her. You know what I mean? I don't
Mhm.
think she's probably been away from him like
From him. Yeah.
since like he's probably been born. I don't know.
Mhm.
What do you think, right?
Probably.
Right. So obviously he comes up to Rose, and he's super happy to see his mom, right? And then remember what we said last week about how she got she got Prince to call Ed daddy,
Ugh. Yeah.
right? So that pretty much happens. Like the kid calls him daddy, and like Ed is like taken in by the kid because he's super cute, and he's like, oh hey
Mhm.
Prince, how's it going, all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And he's like saying like daddy Ed and stuff like that. It's like
Ugh. Wait.
see, this
Really? Wow. I don't remember that.
he calls him daddy. I know that for sure
Oh no.
because I think she kind of like instigates it, but like
Yeah.
he does call her daddy, right?
That is so soon.
And it's not. It's. I mean, we talked about how like weird that is last week, but like to see it actually happen, it's kind of
Kind of. Yeah.
like they're not even engaged yet,
And
and
you're
this is the
already
first
having
time.
your kid calling him daddy.
See, this is why
Oy.
I'm not trying to assume like in Rose that she's only using him for like money and a better life and stuff like that, but it's like
Mhm.
for anybody else, is that what you do? right? Like, say your previous relationships and your previous boyfriends. Do you, after the first date, you start getting your kid to call him daddy? Like,
Not an appropriate time.
definitely not, right?
Yeah.
But maybe this is like not a. I don't want to say a tactic because that seems kind of like devious, but it's
But
like a
maybe
way
it
to kind of
is.
maybe it is,
Yeah.
right? But it's a way to get Ed more attached to this idea,
Mm.
right? And I don't think that's right,
Mm.
right? Like she's also not taking it slow in that regard as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They so first they meet Prince, and then they meet Rose's sister Maria.
Our favorite person.
Oh, like yeah, and just the way she looks at him, she's just like she's not impressed. Maria's never impressed by anything.
No, she is not. She is everyone watching
Yeah,
our story.
yeah, she's everyone who's viewing the show
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Um, and like we said last week when we were talking about um the footage of her, like she was talking about how it's okay because Ed has money, all this stuff.
Mhm.
She's already asked him for money
Mhm.
without Rose knowing about it. So like
Yes.
she's already pointing at all the signs that there's something like sketchy
Huge red
going on.
flag.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but then they get into the house and they open their door, quote unquote. See, this is so they don't even have a door. Their door is like
Was it just
of the
like
house.
a curtain or something?
It's a curtain made out of like DVD covers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
those
yeah.
plastic DVD covers you
Yeah,
get at
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
bootleg
yeah.
store like Pacific Mall or something like
Mhm.
that, you know?
Mhm.
It's like that,
Mhm.
you know. So it's it's
So
already
they
like a
they
like
swipe it open.
right, swipe it open, they see the family, the rest of her
Mhm.
family, like sisters,
Surprise!
uh
Welcome.
in-laws, whoever, right?
Yeah.
And the so like very welcoming. I mean, what do you expect from a Filipino family?
Yeah.
They're always gonna sort of throw something
I think
for you.
everyone here or everyone who sees this will know that if you're visiting from abroad, a Filipino family that you're
Yep.
attached to will have some sort of gathering when you like visit them.
Yeah, so don't be surprised. Just expect
Yeah.
it. Expect it to happen.
Mhm.
And if they don't, then they must really not like you.
There's
Anyway,
always a lot of food
that's true.
and people you don't know.
That's the best part.
Mhm.
That's the thing. You better like Filipino food though,
Ooh,
because
that's true.
they're gonna
What
make
if
you
he
eat a lot.
didn't like the food?
See, that's what they didn't really show the food that much. I didn't. I
That's
want. I was
true.
more
Yeah.
curious. I want to see like what exactly did you guys make. I know they had like chicken and stuff like that, but not like I wanted to see it like detailed, like what kind of dishes they made. Um, so we were talking about how his sister Marie is not super impressed. Guess who shows up? Rose's dad.
Woo! Oh, this was
So like
so
on
awkward.
on top of all of this, this is the first time.
Holy.
This is the first time that Ed's meeting Rose's dad.
Eee.
Okay,
Yeah.
and to put us into context, they're about the same age.
Yeah, pretty much.
So imagine you just come home, your daughter's boyfriend is there, and he's the same age as you. And it's the way they kind of like he gets up and he's trying to be super nice, obviously, to the dad,
Mhm.
but the dad kind of just shakes his hand. He's like, he doesn't seem really impressed as
No,
well.
he does not.
He's
He's
just
like
giving them
being very
some
friendly.
yeah, he's just
Yeah.
giving him some like cut eye and stuff like that. And he's like, he doesn't look super happy. Obviously, he has every right to feel that way.
Mhm.
Right? And then in the midst of them all eating, he has a question for
He
Ed.
pops a big question.
Do you remember what that question is?
Was it, what are your intentions?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because because they're the same age, they're gonna kind of think the same way. So he wants to know what Ed has, what are his intentions for the relationship,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Um, obviously because he doesn't think he's serious, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah. It's like imagine some creep man who's the same age as you, probably looks older.
Yo, honestly, it's
Like
not that
imagine
far.
just a man coming into your home, you've never met him before.
Mhm.
He's your daughter's boyfriend. I would be so sketched out.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I can't remember what Ed's response was like right away. He didn't
He-
say anything super outlandish though.
No, he said I love your daughter. I want to take care of her, give her a better life, whatever.
Stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? His answer was fine. That's probably
Yeah.
why I didn't write anything down.
Mhm.
I didn't write anything down about it. I usually only write the bad stuff that he does. Um, but as the day goes on, so he's already sweating at this point. He's sweating up a storm,
Yeah,
just
he
like he was
is.
at the market. Because remember, he's already if there's no AC, he's gonna die.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, he's not having a good time. So
Mhm.
obviously, if you're that far into like the barangay, you're not gonna have AC, man. Like that's just how it is,
You might not even
right?
have a fan.
Exactly.
Might.
I think they had a fan,
They
but
had a
that's
fan.
sometimes that's not enough, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so on top of this too, uh, Rose's dad has a surprise. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna sleep here for the night," because he doesn't sleep at Rose's house. Rose lives with her sister,
Yes.
and her dad stays somewhere else. But he's like, "Yeah, I don't trust you, so I'm gonna stay here." He doesn't
Mhm.
say that, but that's what he's saying.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
I thought that he meant that he was gonna sleep with them,
right,
and I think Ed thought that too.
which I kind of want it to happen.
Me too.
Like I imagine them on the mattress, and it's Rose on one side,
Dad.
Ed on the other side, and her
Ed.
dad just smack in
Yep.
the middle, right? And eventually, as the night goes on, he just kind of like puts her dad puts like his arm over him, something
Yeah.
like that. That'd be
I
so funny.
wish that happened.
That's almost like too comedic, right? It's like, but he was just gonna stay in the other room. He just wanted to stay in the same like
Mhm.
house. The thing that's so messed up about all of this is that he didn't know they already slept together the night before.
Poor dad.
So like, I mean, all your intentions are there, but it's like
Mhm.
it's kind of too late at this point anyway.
Mhm.
And because of the conditions, Ed wouldn't want to have to do anything
Nope.
anyway.
Nope.
Because
He didn't even want to lie down properly.
no, so he- going back to what you said, because he has eczema, right?
Yeah.
So he needs to sleep on like a specific thread count of a mattress, or not mattress, of like bed sheets, or else like it'll irritate his skin, right?
Mhm.
So apparently those were part of the gifts that he sent her before he even flew out there,
Mhm.
and they
They
didn't
didn't
show
come
up.
in. Yeah.
So you should see him if he's just like laying down against the wall.
Yep.
He's sweating buckets. Like I
Yep.
feel bad for the guy, but like he's just laying down at the wall,
I
sweating
know.
buckets, sleepless, right? Because he can't sleep because of the heat. He can't sleep because he can't sleep on the sheet, so he's just kind of like laying against the wall. It's pretty bad.
I know.
Yeah.
Like when he would even talk to Rose, he'd have to be like, that's
Yeah.
how he would face her,
Yeah.
just like struggling to turn his body around. It's kind
Mhm.
of sad to look at.
It's sad,
Yeah.
and people. It's funny. Okay,
It
objectively,
is
it's funny.
funny.
It's really funny.
It's really funny.
But like, come on, guys. He's not used to the conditions.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can call him like a little bit of a baby and blah 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 and stuff like that. But it's like, if the dude couldn't handle the heat, he's not gonna have a. Of course, he's not gonna be able to sleep, and of course, he's gonna
Mhm.
sweat. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's so humid in the
Mhm.
Philippines, right? So it makes sense, right? He also
Mhm.
starts getting sketched out because it starts to rain, and he's worried like the roof is gonna like fall on them or something like that. So,
The thing is with those houses, they're meant to be built that way for the
mhm.
weather in the Philippines.
Yep.
And so I guess that he didn't take that in. He's like, "We're gonna die. We're gonna die. This is how I
Yeah,
die."
he's super sketched out. It's like Rose is just so relaxed. She's like, yeah, she's probably
Fine.
already asleep at this point. It's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. You should know, like in the Philippines, when it rains, like it pours, man.
Yeah. It
It doesn't
pours.
rain a little bit. Like if it's raining,
It's
it
raining.
it's some fat rain. Like
Yeah.
it's fat.
It's the
Okay.
fat one.
It's,
Yeah.
like you can see the rain. It's you know what I mean? It's
Taba
someone's like
rain.
someone's like pouring like a bucket of
You,
water on
you
you.
totally missed my comment.
Sorry, what did you
Taba rain.
say?
That was so bad.
That was good. No,
That
that's
was
fine.
so bad.
Keep it in. Keep it in.
Rain,
It's good.
rain na taba.
It's
Taba
fine.
ng rain.
Oh, it's on top of all of this, dude, because it's raining, there's a brownout.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh great.
It's like, oh, great. This is great. This is
Oh man.
great.
Yeah. So apparently he didn't get any sleep at all, which
Mm.
sucks,
Mhm.
right? But obviously because of the conditions, it makes sense that he couldn't sleep that night. Um, but it's the morning, so it's time to take a shower. All right.
This one's
His
fresh in my
friend,
brain.
the thing is, his friend warned him. Okay, so last week we talked about how his friend, Ed's friend was talking to him before he flew out to the Philippines, and it's
Mhm.
like some places don't have showers, and you might have to
Mhm.
shower with a bucket.
Mhm.
Hey, Rose's house is one of those places.
Tabo.
My place back in the Philippines when I stayed there, same thing.
Mhm.
Okay, you gotta shower with a bucket. Okay, I'm pampered, so I had to boil water first, so I had a little bit
Me
of warm
too.
water.
Me too.
Okay, like I just waited for like the kettle to boil, and I had some hot water mixed with the other water. Okay,
Mhm.
but these people are so raw that in the Philippines where they just straight up cold water. They don't care. I mean, they're used to it, which I feel really bad about. Like that, it sucks,
Yeah.
right? But this is funny because it's a huge culture shock to Ed. So he's just there, and his dad's like, "Yeah, I'll join you guys. We'll all wash up together." You know what I mean? So
And
it's
he
Rose.
goes, I never would have thought in my entire life that I would have to shower
Yeah.
with my girlfriend's dad.
Yep. So
It's,
it's Rose, Ed, and Rose's dad, all
yeah.
together. They're around the bucket. She's there pouring buckets on him of water, and they're just having. That's how you usually do it.
Passing the soap.
He drops the soap.
He drops the
Careful now.
soap.
Careful now. And he, I think Rose gets like a hose or something, starts hosing him down. It's kind of like watching him like he's an animal.
I know. I mean,
It's pretty great.
yeah.
That's a really good scene. If you haven't seen a clip, just watch that
That's
clip.
a great clip. And
Oh my
then
god.
there's a little rat friend or mouse friend
Oh
near
yeah.
the door, and he freaks out. Understandably. I mean, I would too.
Yeah, he's like by the door, like creeping out. He's like, "What is that?" And then it goes like, "I think it's mouse." Is it a mouse or is it a rat? There was also a chicken there too. There's
Oh
like a
yeah, he's
chicken.
like, is that
Yeah,
a
chicken.
chicken? No, it's
Yes,
not a
yeah, it's
chicken.
chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. Yeah, it's chicken. I love PewDiePie's reaction to that. It's like, what? You've never seen a chicken before? Of course, it's a chicken. Just in the house, right there. It's funny though, because there are just chickens everywhere. Kind of
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
I mean, there is in my barrio. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, like in your neighborhood.
Neighborhood.
Yeah. I
Sure.
mean, and to use like our terms, I guess, right? Like you would just
Yeah.
call it the neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
Because they're just animals everywhere, right?
There
Because
is.
I
Yeah.
remember when I was in the Philippines, um, so where I was sleeping, it was kind of like in between the kitchen and the living area, right? So like my
Okay.
bed's just kind of like out in the open. Doesn't really matter. People are sleeping everywhere in the house.
Mhm.
Um, but so I'm about to go to sleep, but then I hear something, and I'm like, yo, what the heck is that? It's coming from like the kitchen, and in the kitchen there's like a storage room, and there's like a window that leads to outside, right? So I look up from my bed, and I just see two stray cats
Oh,
just walking
hello.
in front of my bed. I'm like, I'm freaking out.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm scared of cats or anything, but these are stray cats,
Yeah.
and like I don't know what they're gonna do. And so I'm the only
No,
one
I get
awake.
it.
I'm looking at them. I'm like, oh my god. So so I try to get up from the bed. I think they see me and they immediately run. They run
Oh.
away. But I was still freaked out. I was like, and I told like my uncle about it like the next day.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah. He wasn't like even phased by it. Like,
Oh.
two cats just like came in. Like, where would they come from? Where did they come in from? I was like, I don't know. You know? Because the
Hmm.
thing in our area, it's like everyone just has like you just have your front door open the whole day.
Yeah.
You only really close it
Mhm.
at night when everyone's about to go to bed. But most
Mhm.
of the time, it's open,
Mhm.
right? But I'm like, the door is closed because we were going to sleep, but I guess they came through the back. But
Oh.
yeah,
Imagine having animals just stroll through here. I would love that.
if it was a dog, I'd be cool. I'd be totally cool with that.
I wish.
We just have different laws here and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the terrible night, um, after the wonderful night and the wonderful shower, yeah, obviously, Ed's psyched to stay there another day, right? Wrong.
Nope.
He wants out.
I
He
want
does
to go
not
to
want.
a hotel.
Yeah.
I can't stay here another night.
The thing I don't like about Ed is that, like, look, I get that the conditions are really hard for you, and that's fine and stuff like that. But when he doesn't like something, he's such a baby about it.
He is.
You know what I mean? Just like at the market, it's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to go back to the hotel. It's hot. It's hot.
It's hot.
You
I'm
know
sweaty.
anything? And I want to go back to the hotel. And like,
Where there's
dude,
a
just,
sea and my mayo won't get warm.
now my hair smells because it's hot and the mayonnaise is melting in my hair.
Ew. Ew.
But it's the same. It's the same thing. Same
Yes.
thing now. Fast forward the next couple of days where he doesn't want to stay at Rose's house anymore. It's hot and I can't sleep at night. There's no. The roof's all leaky. There's rats and mouse and
What is
mice.
this impression?
I don't know.
You sound more like a hybrid of Ed and Kermit.
Oh yeah. This is like my Ed like complaining voice. But he's not happy. He doesn't want to go there. Be
Definitely
there.
not.
So he wants to take Rose on a little vacation.
Oh.
But because he wants to be respectful, the way every time he says respectful, it's always like something.
I don't
something
know what
construed.
he's saying anymore.
So he's like, okay, I'm gonna ask Rose's dad to see if it's okay first.
Which is
which is
a
like,
good thing
you
to
know,
do.
understandable. Because imagine you just like straight up went up and left. That's
He would have
obviously not.
tried to find you and hunt you down.
Yeah. I mean, he talks to Rose about it first,
Mhm.
and she's a little hesitant too because like she just got to see her son again, so she doesn't want to leave
what about
her son behind.
Prince? Yeah.
But too bad, he needs to smash. Okay, so you're gonna have to stay here. Okay, Prince.
Ooh.
That's
Sorry,
what he's
kiddo.
thinking in his head. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming,
But
obviously.
would you think that if he really wanted to be respectful, he would have brought Prince with Rose? Like he would have
That's
let
what
Prince be
Yep.
part of this whole experience too, right?
I actually thought that's what he was gonna suggest.
Mm.
Said let's take like not like a family trip, but let's say like why don't I take you and Prince somewhere nice?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Nah. No, because he wants to smash.
He wants to smash. Yep.
He's gonna have to get Prince like a different hotel room,
Oh my god.
you know, or like, hey Prince, you can stay in the bathtub for the night. Just sleep in the bathroom or something.
Ooh.
Well, like in his eyes, he would probably just get in the way of what
Yeah,
he's trying
For
to do.
sure. Yeah.
And I guess he wants to use the time to kind of like get to know her. But it's like, dude, why don't you start asking like some real questions? Not,
Mm.
hey, do you like it? Are you having fun? You know, can I halik you? Blah blah blah. Shut up.
I like you.
Right?
You want some of my mayonnaise?
So, like, did he say he does that all the time? Though, or was that just something he was
I
trying?
don't know.
And either way, it's still gross. So he's gonna ask Rose's dad if he can take her on a trip.
Mm.
Okay. So before that, they accompany him to his pig farm.
Great
Right?
part. This is a great part.
They hop on the public jeepney. I also love riding in jeepneys. Jeepneys are awesome.
really cool.
Jeepneys are really cool. Do I have that? Hold on.
Unfortunately, they don't.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead. Unfortunately, right now, jeepneys aren't allowed to run. Sorry, I was just explaining that jeepneys aren't allowed to be operating at the moment because of the whole COVID
Oh, for real?
situation. Yeah.
That makes sense though.
Mhm.
right? No, my parents were at like I guess they were at like shopping one day, and they saw like a Hot Wheels jeepney.
In case you don't know what a jeepney is, that's what it
So
is.
they got it for me. That's what it looks like. It's
So
kind of
the-
like a
So the
you
back
enter
is
through the back
completely
here.
open, yeah, and you
Yeah, and
enter
there's
through
like-
there. And
there's
there's
like
seats on the
benches that you sit.
sides, yeah.
yeah. So if you're over 6 feet tall, you're not gonna have a
Nope.
good time.
Sorry,
Because-
basketball players.
Yeah, it's short. Okay.
For
Like
the
I'm
short
sitting up.
Filipino people.
I'm sitting up straight, and I think my head's touching the ceiling,
Oh
or
no.
right, or the roof of the car. So I
Oh,
kind of have to
no.
like go like a little bit.
Mhm.
But if you're taller than like 6 feet, and I'm only like 5'9", I'm not even that tall.
Mhm.
So, but I mean like most Filipinos aren't super tall, so it makes
Yeah.
sense. But it's pretty cramped in there. But it's a fun time. It's good. It's a nice
Yeah,
ride.
it is fun.
So so we take the jeepney out to this pig farm. Um, I just thought this was really weird before like so they arrive at the farm. Um, he has a question for Rose's dad. He's like, "Do you like living in the Philippines?"
Oh yeah, it's
It's
so
like
weird, so
I don't think
random.
he doesn't really have a choice. You know
No,
what I mean? It's like no, I don't. I'm gonna go move. Like what? No, he.
no, I hate it here.
It's just he's trying to like probably like
Make
talk,
conversation.
make conversation and stuff like that.
Mm.
It's like dude, he doesn't. Just the way he looks at you, it's like yo, he's not a big fan of you in the first place. Um, I don't know. Maybe ask him about like is he from here originally, or is
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe some more like meaningful questions to get him to talk about himself. It's not
Mm.
do you like living here?
Do you like living in your home country?
I guess. I don't really remember what his response was. He probably just said, "Yeah, it's
He
fine."
probably yeah.
Right. So they get to the pig farm. Um, it's all like muddy and stuff like that.
As it
So
should be.
Ed, the alpha male that he is, makes a big alpha move by wrapping his shoes in plastic bags.
Woo.
Rose's dad just look at him like, what the?
He he's like, I'm kind of concerned because Ed didn't bring good shoes for this situation. He
Yeah,
brought
he was
sneakers.
going. I guess if he didn't know there was mud, but like you knew you were going to a pig farm,
Yeah.
so I don't want to bring like your nice runners there. You know what I mean? But
Mm-mm.
then again, if you're in the Philippines, from what my mom tells me, and like from the way I want to carry myself when I go there, it's like, don't try to be so flashy.
Yeah, you probably
And you go,
shouldn't be
yeah,
wearing like high end stuff.
yeah. And I'm not saying that Ed was being flashy. I'm just saying like, um, you don't want to go there and flex and stuff like that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Just kind of just like wear really casual stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but anyways, he wraps his feet in like plastic bags. He doesn't want his shoes to get all muddy and stuff like that. So, uh, he, you know where I'm going next with this.
Yeah.
Rose's dad is like, hey, you know, help me feed the pigs or whatever, right?
Oh God.
So he gives him like gives him like a bucket of feed, and not once but twice he slips and drops it as he's about to
Yep.
he's about to feed the pigs. The second
Oh, the
time is
poor
even
pigs.
funnier though, because when he slips, he like the bucket like flings from his hand, and it like falls in the back.
I will insert a clip here.
So the only way that he can like the only way you can get the bucket back, you have to like actually crawl into where the pigs are to like get it
Yeah.
back or something. It's
Just
like
making
oh my
more work for the
all he had to
dad.
do was like tip it, and then he's like they're like flinging it.
I know.
It's
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 probably
it's
because he
goofy.
couldn't fit in those crevices where the pigs were,
Yeah,
or that gate near the pigs.
yeah, yeah.
So I think he was thinking of just like tossing it where he was,
Right.
which is still
Yeah, yeah,
stupid. But
yeah. Maybe he's a little scared of him. You know, he was
may-
scared of the pigs.
maybe. I mean, as we've learned, or we will learn later on, he's not a fan of animals.
Yo, that's gonna be really funny.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um. So, yeah, that's a goofy time. After all of this, he then asks the question, like, he gives this whole case of the story about how he's not super comfortable staying there, and he
Mm.
wants to take Rose on like a trip or whatever, and she says yeah, or he says yeah. So he just makes sure
Take
like
care
you
of
take
her.
care of her,
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So he's just concerned about the safety of his daughter,
Mhm.
right? But the most humbling part of all of this is that he was asking where her dad lives, right? And
Right.
she's like there, and
Where the pigs live.
it pans over to like a little shack made
Mhm.
out of like pallets,
Mhm.
right? Out of like skids that you use to like transport stuff,
Mhm.
and you just see that it's like that's
He
That's
probably
pretty-
has like a bed set up and a little kitchen inside there set up for him.
which is pretty like sad. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. Like some people have to
Yeah.
live in conditions like that. You know what I mean,
Mhm.
like if he likes it, he likes it, but it's like it's not the best.
Mhm.
I mean, and he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, well anyway, I want to go take your daughter out for a vacation. So yeah, don't want to be here in this pig farm anymore. How long have you been going now?
We're on time. We're
We're on time?
approaching half an hour.
All right. I mean, maybe this is a good place to
Yeah.
wrap up.
Yeah.
So next time we're gonna talk about their trip to Palawan.
Woo! I don't
So he
think
does
it's
take her.
over yet
From what I
in the
yeah,
series.
from what we've seen, I think they're still on the trip.
Mhm.
So maybe it might be good to like somewhat hold off on it, but we're gonna probably
Mhm.
wait until it's
We'll see
probably
what
all done to talk
happens.
about it. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, any thoughts overall?
I I can't have mayonnaise anymore.
Oh, did it just ruin mayonnaise for you?
Kinda.
Mayonnaise is so good though.
Maybe in a burger.
Yeah. Some chipotle mayo.
Ooh, I do
That,
like chipotle mayo.
that's good.
Hmm.
So yeah, sometimes mayo like by itself it's like kind of gross. It's until like you put it on something then it's like good. But like just like looking at it, I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't
I think
like
there
it.
was a strange there was a I could be wrong, but I swear I saw a My Strange Addiction episode where a guy was like only eating mayonnaise. A guy or a girl, I don't remember.
Why?
That's kind of weird. It's like straight up, just like taking
Why?
spoons.
Ooh.
I don't know. People
Gross.
have done worse on that show. People eating like
Yeah.
glass and
Yeah.
bricks and
That's
stuff like
not
that. So.
healthy. Don't do that, kids. Don't follow
The
them.
weirdest part about that show though is that they're always fine for like somehow.
Which is weird,
You would think if they've been doing that for like a year, like you'd be dead.
right?
Like
No
how can you eat bricks and survive?
nutrients.
Yeah,
No, your system can't possibly digest that properly, right?
but but maybe it's all fabricated anyway.
It is.
So, so who
It's all
knows?
lies. Don't
Guys,
believe
TV's
what you
fake.
watch
Ed
on
and
TV.
Rose's relationship is that fake as well? We know
Ooh.
some people. This is the thing
Sorry.
I gotta mention too. Like we know some people probably already know like what the results of like the relationship is because obviously production takes a long time to catch up,
I've seen a
right?
video. She went
So
live on Instagram.
really,
She did.
yeah. But I don't want to spoil
I don't
myself.
want to spoil you either.
Yeah. So why don't we just keep it hush hush for a
Mhm.
little bit and like
Mhm.
let's just enjoy this journey of Rose and
Enjoy the
Ed's relationship.
journey. Okay, let's do
Yeah,
it.
'cause it's been a fun time so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ship Ed and Rose? That's the big question.
Of course not. Have you not heard me through the last hour of just bashing them? Of course I don't.
I was hoping for a yeah.
No, I was gonna
No.
just be honest.
Yeah.
No, I don't. For all the reasons I specified before.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Same.
Yeah.
She can do
But
way
hey,
better.
that's just our opinion.
I'm sure.
And if you guys have a different opinion, that's also fine too.
If you ship it, you ship it. Tell us.
Yeah, that's
Defend
fine.
yourself.
Yeah. But either way, this is getting like everyone to talk about this, and it's kind of cool because this is like kind of so in the mainstream now. Like everyone's kind of like uh understanding like some Filipino cultural things as well,
Mhm.
and stuff
We're
like
in the
that, which is kind of
limelight
cool.
for a little bit, at least.
We'll hold on to it because we know Filipinos love the limelight.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. But anyway, thanks for listening to this episode. If you haven't, why don't you catch our previous
Oh,
episodes?
sorry, you froze for a second. Sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry about that. We'll do that again. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you haven't listened to our previous podcast, please give them a listen.
Give it a listen.
Yeah, be sure. Oh, be
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 sure.
sure to share.
Be share the podcast on in the channel.
Thank you for that.
Made absolutely no sense.
Anyway, we hope you enjoy. This has been Half Full Podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.